The Fascinating Template of the Interior Domain. Written by Morgan O. Smith. Who and what is this miraculous wholeness, the collective of the true oneness that stretches way beyond the intellectual threshold of the human mind? Throughout the ages, many have asked this question. Very few have started their quest searching for this mysterious divine, and even after a long and lengthy pursuit, even fewer decided to seek inward, eventually finding his or her own truth, becoming the one who awakes. As one awakens to what is, the sealed eye opens, relieving itself from the body in a state of comatose. This awakened individual simply came to their own conclusion that the true and living God is a reflection and equally are themselves, an ideal version they thrive on becoming. They dreamt of an unachievable goal they could never reach as a physical being, but this ideal self became the new template of what they intuitively believe it means to be a vessel of the Illuminated. Now I'll be bold to say that this God they try to permanently unite with, is simply a concept living in the mind of that playful child within, but an imagination which is the true real. A God who isn't God at all, because this actual God is too simplistic yet too complex to be called the religious definition of a God, but a heavenly spirit that shines everywhere, through everyone, everywhen and through everything. The one who awakens to this reality is purely imaginative, though fully grown. Because they think like a child, they're able to imagine the unimaginable. They then make it their life's goal, trying to articulate the unexplainable. Now what about the fundamental religious man or woman? What the fundamentalist perceives as God, was created out of a man-made idea which was risen out of the swamp of their own shame and guilt. They then tried to create a solution that would govern the sinfully urged. But the awakened one accepts their own shame and is not so quick to crucify the very nature of what it means to be authentically human. The fundamentalist chastises the flesh before ever knowing their full potential, never realizing the chaos of the fullest must be felt at its very core before transcending it, never realizing that chaotic upheaval must be reached at all cost. Now something very miraculous happens when the one who awakes becomes the witness of their own uprising. When one can look within the disturbance of the inner self without judgment, they immediately transform. Their reality becomes a step closer to their ideal imaginary self. They realize that they have created a set of stepping stones, a trail of hard foundational material for the twin soul founded beneath one's anatomy. These are a set of rocks setting a path to a destination leading nowhere, but they are free to make up an ending of their own choosing. As they move, they are fascinated by their own hop, skip and jump. They realize their involvement of child's play is of the utmost, the highest level of their divine gleam, a holy shimmer glowing from within. However, the fundamentalist stays in the mind of an adult which remains rigid. The thinking mind of an adult is the equivalent of an unbreakable shell, a shatter-free mind with no resiliency. A mind that can never be molded into something new. Their mind is stuck in a belief of a religious man of old that came before them, a dogmatic slave to a myth, never to find a personal truth of their own. The shielding of their mind is a hard protective surface that protects them from everything that would allow them to grow. They have a novelty forever lost, even a refreshing flow of splashing water they would see as a tsunami, a disaster to the blinking eye they would perceive as false prophecy. Yet the one who awakes, drinks from that same water, pretending it to be a sparkling wine and drinking it to their heart's content, always intoxicated by the holy thou art which is of their own divinity. Now both of these individuals are manifestations of the same source. Both part of the same script, playing their roles with one not any better than the other, but only one of the two has created the fascinating template of the interior domain that will lead them to their own enlightenment. So, based on what you just heard, who inspires you most? Who would you rather be?